Thank you, Mr. Spokesperson. It is again related to Iran-United States talks hosted by Pakistan. So, since the departure of the Iranian foreign minister, as it was mentioned that within 24 hours, last time he was twice in Islamabad, what is the status of these talks now? The talks collapsed, talks over, are behind the scene, channels of communication are still open. Messages are being still exchanged between Tehran, Washington, and Islamabad. Thank you.
Zishan,
Thank you, spokesperson. There are reports that US and Iran have begun direct contact. Does this mean that Pakistan's role as a mediator has come to end, or it's still ongoing? Number first. And number second, sir, during the ongoing crisis, we have seen that Iran has allowed Pakistan's 20 vessels through Strait of Hormuz. However, with enforcing US blockade in the region, is Pakistan is going to take up this matter with US for Pakistani vessels? Thank you.
Raja साहब को दे दें please.
Thank you so much, Excellency. Just want to know the status of this mediation because over the period of time, the media is saying the talks are stalled. Whether these talks are stalled or background contacts continuing as said by the Prime Minister yesterday. And second question is, as President Trump all the times, he is raising slogans in favor of Pakistan and its leadership. There is a immigration pause on Pakistanis. Those who
We can come.
the families are separated, they are facing real trouble. Whether Pakistan will take up with the United States or not. Thank you.
I think I can let me answer these questions. So फिर इसके बाद दोबारा भी ले लेंगे. In
थैंक यू सर। जितने क्वेश्चन उससे रिलेटेड ये कि पाकिस्तान ने कोई नई प्रपोजल दी है, काइंडली वो हमें जरा बता दें कि वो जो पहले 15 पॉइंट थे उसके बाद 10 उससे अलग कोई पाकिस्तान ने ये चीज़ कोई नई उनको दोनों ममालिक के दरमियान पेश की है।
So I think Askar his question has basically answered the question on status of talks. So first of all, let me underscore that these talks started after the call for ceasefire by Pakistan, by our foreign minister, call for ceasefire, and that was very graciously accepted by both parties. And that ceasefire basically opened window for substantive diplomacy, including diplomacy between the two sides. So I think we need to acknowledge that, and we need to underscore the importance of the ceasefire by both parties, which ceased hostilities, the attacks, the armed attacks to and fro in the Gulf region and in the Middle East stopped. Many lives were saved. Damage to infrastructure was saved. So this paved the way for the talks. And once these talks were held in Islamabad, we discussed this in detail, and there was a robust media commentary analyses on the conduct of these talks. Subsequently, after these talks, the diplomatic exchanges, the channels of communications remained open. The process of facilitation of talks continued, and the status, which Mateen Saab you have asked, the status is that we remain actively engaged with both sides to achieve a resolution of this issue. So let me underscore that the clock on diplomacy has not stopped. We remain hopeful of a negotiated settlement of this issue, and we will continue our sincere efforts for the cause of peace and prosperity in the region and beyond. The visit of the Iranian foreign minister, which Anas Malik you asked, was in the same vein. He held important discussions here in both legs of his visit, and before leaving for Oman and then returning from Oman. So the status is that clock on diplomacy is working, it's functional, and it's ongoing. You also asked about a question was also asked about the Strait of Hormuz and the blockade. Well, this is an issue which concerns all of us. The Strait of Hormuz is an important international shipping route for goods and energy. Pakistan has called for security of ships and crew members and the swift and safe passage of civilian ships and restoration of normal passage through the strait. It is, of course, the situation is adversely impacting countries around the world, including the region, and its consequence for global, regional, and global economy are significant. So we agree on the urgency of the situation and fundamental objective of reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and normalization of the situation in this context. This is an important issue for all of us. Particularly, it is important for the littoral states of Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, obviously with the GCC countries, and we firmly support the legitimate interests of the GCC countries in this regard. And of course, the arrangement has to take into account the interest of our GCC brothers, of course, other countries. So we are engaged, we remain engaged with the parties on this issue. The matter is also, I understand, was discussed in the Security Council. I'm sure you must have followed the open meeting of the Security Council on Strait of Hormuz and on maritime routes that took place, I think, 2 days ago. Uh, a new proposal, the question that Askar Saab you asked about the new proposal, I'll not talk on any specifics, but I can say that the proposals, old, new, not so new, not so old, are on the table, and we understand that the main interlocutors, the parties to the conflict, are discussing these issues in depth. And having also internal deliberations. There was an internal meeting in the United States on this earlier part of the weekend. News reports came out of it. I believe similar consultations are taking place in Tehran, also within Iran. So we hope that peace will prevail. We hope for stable relations between Iran and the United States. As regards President Trump's statement, Paracha Saab, you asked, the issue of immigration remains on the agenda as and when discussed. So on these issues, the consultations between Pakistan and US are ongoing, and of course we are taking all measures to ensure the smooth visa processes and smooth processes on all consular issues with United States. Ji.
Mr. Spokesman, everybody expects.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm Fanis Papathanasiou. I'm a diplomatic correspondent and anchor with the public television of Greece in Athens, and I'm here in Islamabad covering the talks. Everybody expects, as the international community, a new proposal from Tehran. Do you have anything? What was the last communication that you had with Tehran? And do you think this new proposal will address all the issues as the United States would like to have, like say Strait of Hormuz, nuclear, and everything, or just the way it was till now, the first proposal?
So, welcome to the briefing. My media colleagues know that I've always avoided speaking on specifics. There was talk of an X number of proposals from Iran and then an X number of proposals from the US. So, we did not discuss any of those in the spirit of trust that is reposed on us by both parties to uphold the confidentiality and secrecy of these proposals. It's important that we maintain that confidentiality. I'm not aware of what new proposal are you referring to, but I can assure you that anything that passes through the conduit of diplomatic channels in Pakistan is honestly communicated to the other side, and the matter remains under discussion. I referred to at least 3 telephone conversations of the Prime Minister with President Pezeshkian. I think more than 5 telephone conversations with Foreign Minister Aragchi with our Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister has taken place in the last fortnight. And this is in addition to the visits of the Foreign Minister of Iran to Islamabad. So the proposals, new and old, are all on the table.